Plaintiff Michelle Palmer is suing Danielle Alston for stolen property. Michelle says the defendant's brother gave her a car and then the defendant repossessed the vehicle and everything in it. However, Danielle says the plaintiff was harassing her brother and his wife, and she only took the car under orders from her brother because the plaintiff was not making the payments.
Okay, Michelle Palmer is suing Danielle Alston, her former roommate's sister, for stolen property and emotional distress. How are you today, Michelle?
Very good, thank you.
Tell me why you're suing Danielle.
Well, I met Danielle through Sean. He was an ex-roommate of mine. We met about 4 years ago. Danielle is his sister. We met at a barbecue for his birthday, and she kind of seemed a little standoffish. Sean and I...
Were you having a relationship with Sean at the time?
No.
Just a roommate,
we had
platonic?
just established a strong friendship. He's not my type at all. So... Sean had moved out of the apartment that we were living in together in December of 2007. I moved in with another roommate. Sean then had cheated on his girlfriend and she moved to Oregon. Well, in March of 2007, Sean and I had decided to get another apartment, and so we did. He was letting me use his car, and I was making payments.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is the relevance of his cheating on his girlfriend to move to Oregon? Is that going to be tied in subsequently, or is it just out there?
Just out there.
Yeah. Go ahead. All right, Michelle.
Well, in July of 2008, Sean had gotten to a fight with his girlfriend, and he fled to Oregon after his old girlfriend. So he left me high and dry in the apartment with all the expenses. So then in July, after he had left, he called me and said, basically, keep the car. As long as you're making payments on the car, you can keep the car.
What about the car? What happened with the car?
He had let me use one of his cars.
When he went to Oregon?
Prior to that, when we had moved in together.
Okay.
So I was making payments on the car. Would you like to see that?
Yes. All right. So whose name is this car in? What kind of car is it?
It's a Dodge Stratus. It's in Vashon's name.
Okay. And how is it that you come to have possession of the vehicle?
He had, through an agreement that he and I had made, he said, you can drive the car and you make payments on the car, and after the car is paid off, then it's yours.
Vashon, I've passed my Dodge to Michelle. I cannot afford the payments, and I'm moving to Oregon. She gave me $700 for the past payments, June, July. She has agreed to make monthly payments thereafter. After the car is paid off, it will be considered hers. And he gives you title, but there's no indication of how much he's selling you the car for or how many payments are left. How do you buy a car without knowing how many payments are left?
You know, that's not information that I got, but it's I just continued to make the payments. You know, it was very informal.
Clearly.
Yeah.
All right.
I sent Sean a letter after I had learned that he was there in Oregon for good, stating that he had property in the apartment that he abandoned and that he had 30 days to come get it. And the letter was returned to me for not forwarding. He doesn't have a forwarded address. So
let me ask you this. If he doesn't have a forwarding address, then how are you going to speak to him about the car or anything else?
Exactly. He had a couple phone numbers that I knew of, but then after, you know, like he left me high and dry.
So why are we here?
Sean had sent Danielle a key to the Dodge and told her to retrieve the Dodge. I had planned a weekend trip with my family, and I had put my last items in the car, went upstairs to get my son Jaden, and I came out 15 minutes later and the car is gone. I mean, basically my life was in that car.
Did you take the car, Danielle?
I sure did.
Oh, okay. Why?
Okay. Well, first of all, I know Michelle. She was my brother's roommate. And the first time I met her, she was actually rude. And so I really didn't like her, just to be honest with you. I really didn't like her. But as time went on, my brother said, you know, be nice to my friends, you know, Michelle's a good person, blah, blah, blah. So basically, later on, I found out that they slept together. according to Michelle. And she sent tons of text messages to me because, like she said, she didn't have a phone number for my brother and his wife because they didn't want her to have the number. So she would send the text messages
His
to...
wife?
Yeah, my brother's married now, newly married.
Was he newly married? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So she would send text messages to me to forward on to them. And,
about what? Like what?
Well, basically, my brother's wife called Michelle and said she had herpes or whatever. And Michelle's response back was, well, your husband didn't seem to mind when I was sleeping with them. So basically, they had like a strange relationship to me. You know, I always...
Who? Your brother and his wife, or your brother and her?
My brother and Michelle had like a strange relationship. I always felt that way. Like there was something going on. I've even asked Michelle, you know, are you guys messing around? Michelle says, oh, your brother's ugly. He's not my type. But however, the text messages that she sent to my brother and his wife saying that she slept with them confirmed it all. So basically...
Did you sleep with him?
No, I did not.
Well, that's what the text message says. So basically, my brother had 2 cars, like she said, and he let her use one of the cars, providing that she makes payments. So,
do you know to whom she was to make those payments?
Absolutely. I have here where my brother was to make the payments to, and basically stating that she was delinquent on the car, and that's why the car got repossessed.
All right. Vashon Alston, you are in default under the terms of your installment contract and security agreement. If payment is not received immediately, your account will be reviewed for legal action, which may include placing a lien on your assets. So this appears to be a notice, Michelle, that you're not making payments.
Your Honor, when I started driving the Dodge is when I started making payments. Every payment that I have, you have a receipt of, and those are the payments that I've made. Shortly thereafter, he took the Dodge. So any
No. I'm not talking about shortly thereafter. What payments did you make on the Dodge?
You have 2 receipts there.
That's
the monthly
right.
payment was $300 and I believe $50, and there's the 2 payments of $700 and some odd dollars. If not
Okay,
just
so May
700.
23rd of 2008, and then on March 8th.
And then I had given Sean $700.
Prove it.
Well, I have a notarized letter in your hand.
So that's for June and July.
Right.
Okay. This letter from the company is written in August.
Okay. Well, Sean was in Oregon. I don't know what he did with the money that I gave him.
Your Honor, that's not true. If I could speak on my brother's behalf. He called me and asked me to pick up his mail. Mm-hmm. I called Michelle and I said, hey, Michelle, can I come by to pick up the mail? She says, your brother needs to call me. The check is not here. And I forwarded all the mail to sender. And first of all, I called Michelle and I asked her about the mail. She specifically told me the check is not here because she knew my brother was expecting the check to come. So, and I'm like, check? I didn't tell you anything about a check. I need to come get the mail. Well, I returned it back to sender. End of conversation, Danielle. This conversation is over. And she hung up on me. So I called my...
Did you say that?
I told her that I forwarded the mail back to sender, yes. And I did know that he was expecting a check. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, I called my brother and I explained my brother that situation. And my brother says, well, I found out Michelle hasn't been making payments on my car, and I'm going to send you the key, and I want you to go get the car. So I went over to the apartments where her and my brother lived, and my witness, or excuse me, not my witness that I have here that wrote a statement, we drove off in the car, basically. And
so you took the car. You don't deny you took the car.
Oh, no, absolutely
All
not.
right, so what do I need a statement for?
Well, basically, just to confirm that
you took the car.
Right.
She said you took it. You said you took it.
But she's also saying that I stole the items in the car.
What was in the car?
Well, from what I could see, there was a car seat in the back seat. There was a couple things in the front seat and a camera.
What about her items that were in the car? That's the crux of this lawsuit. Aside from who went to Oregon, who did this, who did that, who's sleeping with who, I don't care. You took a car on your brother's behalf that she was supposed to pay for. She didn't pay for it. So the issue now is what was in the car and did you have the right to take it? And can she get money for her items if she can prove that there was something in the car? Now, prove to me what was in that car.
Okay, I have a itemized list and receipts.
Let's see it. So is it your testimony, Michelle, that you were making payments on this car?
Your Honor, I also have a police report of the items that were in the car as well that I filed.
Good. All right, let's see that. Let's see a pacifier here.
There were 6 of them in that car, might I add.
6 pacifiers? How many kids do you have?
I have 1 kid, but we like to color coordinate our outfits.
All right. Now, she's got receipts that there were certain items in the car. Now, what is the date that you took the car?
It was the first week in August.
What's the date the car was taken?
August 1st.
August 1st. Okay.
And, Your Honor, I also have a notarized statement from my brother, also stating why the car was taken and that
let's see that.
And that he did ask me to retrieve the car and to keep the items in the car.
Okay.
Well, not for me to keep it, but to leave the items in the car.
Your Honor, I have pictures of the items.
Yeah, let's see them. My name is Jeanine Alston. I'm the owner of the Dodge. We made a verbal agreement, me and Michelle. She would take over payments. Michelle had been one of my friends for many years. I trusted her, relocated to Oregon. She mentioned being worried about making payments and then me taking the car, but I received a call from the finance company shortly after stating Michelle had not made a payment since March of 2008. Michelle is claiming loss of pain and suffering. It's me. What are you talking about? Say, take anything and everything that's in it? What are you saying?
So basically, my brother says...
But not in this letter. I just read this letter. Because you told me he said, take the car and everything that's in it.
Right.
But that's not in this letter.
No, that's what he told me.
Cute baby.
Thank you.
Very cute baby.
Thank you. That's the car seat. That's the car seat. That's the stroller. That's the stroller.
Okay, I've heard enough. Here's the issue. It's a very simple proposition. The plaintiff is claiming $2,500 in damages, baby toys, baby clothes, plaintiff's clothes, baby supplies, digital camera. You admit there was a digital camera in there, right?
Yes.
Okay. You could be charged with theft for taking that camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay? Don't do that again. Okay?
Well, I took the car and
Don't
the camera
say anything.
was in it.
Don't say anything. Okay? Because you've already said to me your brother told you to take whatever's in the car, remember? Remember when I read this letter?
Right.
That was an admission.
Right.
Right. Her brother, Vashon, had every right to take the car. All right? His credit is in jeopardy. He's in another state. He's trying to do the best he can. And so she had every right to take it. But you didn't have the right, Danielle, to take her property. So it's a very simple case that took around Oregon and back to Oregon and then back again. Here's the bottom line. You took her property. She's entitled to money. The issue is how much money she's entitled to. She's claiming $2,500, but emotional stress of $990. You don't get money for emotional stress. I'm not giving it to you. In fact, he ought to sue, not her brother, ought to sue you for emotional distress for being in another state with your playing games, sending his mail back to the sender as opposed to his sister, whom you admitted in line 1 you didn't like, and a check and everything else, and his having to play around when he was trying to help you out with a car. All right, so here's the bottom line. This court is going to give the plaintiff $1,500 for the items that were in the car. So be it. For the plaintiff.
Thank you.